fifth pillar of Islam, and a ritual Muslims must perform at least once in their lifetime. To complete the Hajj, pilgrims carry out a series of rituals over 6 days during Dhul Hijjah. Pilgrims travel to Masjid al-Haram in Mecca to walk 7 times.
Over 700 people killed. September 24th, 800 wounded in a major panic and stampede at the Hajj. Yeah. You know, during the Middle Ages, when Europe was a cesspool, the Arabs took over astrology. They got into the Greek books. They learned astrology. They had better mathematics, better astronomy. They improved astrology. All the Arabic parts, the parts of fortune and things. And what goes on? They had their Hajj on the 24th of September, killed over 700 people, wounded 800. Doesn't anybody there do astrology anymore? Doesn't anybody know that on the 24th Pluto stopped in the sky? Which means, that's right, eek, a bug. We've known it for years. I warn you, every time Pluto stops, bugs get on you. Eek! A little panicky, sets off your reptile brain, your brain stem, you know, and your old snake brain underneath all your big human brain. And you get panicky. Can't help it. You just can't help it. On September 24th, they get panicky. And in this case, killed a lot of people. Hey, Arabs, shape up. Get back to your astrology. Rollin Frost here. Program 985 coming at you. We're going to talk about the third week in October in the Sky Mirror. Notable is you had a new moon opposing Uranus. I called it Eek, an ET. Nobody likes Uranus. And I'm here on the 24th of September, and I just watched the Pope just chastise the U.S. for the way we treat homeless people. Uranus are homeless people. They're on my list. Don't abuse the homeless from this new moon for a whole month. Anyway, let's take a look at the Sky Mirror. Let's see what your week's going to be like coming up for you, huh? I got the planets all laid out. And looky here. Here's Venus and Jupiter coming together, huh? And Mars. Well, Mars is going up to 19. But Jupiter's at 14, 15, 16. And at the end of your week, see, Venus goes from 7 degrees up to 16, conjuncts Jupiter. It's going to get very loving, very lazy, very sexy. Well, we're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern, and as it makes angles to the various actors on the stage, it generates the mood of the times. So here we go. What's it like here on the 15th? Well, the moon's in Scorpio. It's Thursday, October 15th, and you're coming up to that Friday conjunction to Saturn. The moon goes into Sagittarius, and here's Saturn right away early Friday morning. Depressing. It's cold, can't get out of bed. Ugh. It's not exactly a good day because here's the square to Venus. And Neptune's not happy either. Neptune is opposing Venus at the beginning of your week. I should mention that. Here's Neptune at 7 Pisces. Here's Venus at 7 Virgo. Nobody knows what love and sex is about, and sweets, all confusion. So this Friday, of Venus's day, she's really confused. She's being opposed by Neptune. No fun. And Saturn is squaring her. You know, the girls, the young girls, they're in trouble here. Kids are okay, we can talk about it, but this is not time to let your teenage daughter out of the house Friday, October 16th. No matter what party is going on. Saturday the 17th, moon's still in Sagittarius, a mutable fire sign, and we start with some brotherhood in the morning. There's a trine to Uranus, and there's some good higher mental energy. By Saturday night, late about midnight, there's a sextile to the sun, and you get a plan together. I got some ambition finally, hooray! Sunday you wake up, the moon has gone into Capricorn, It's a managerial, serious sign. And we're going to get some stuff done. Here's Sunday night. Look, there's a sextile to Neptune, the planet of the Pope. I'm in love with St. Francis. I worked at St. Francis Hospital. I was a safety guy there. And I found a little catechism of St. Francis. And boy, do I love St. Francis. He loved animals, you know. He was a hellraiser of a warrior. Suddenly started talking to the animals. Everybody thought he was crazy. First stage of enlightenment. His telepathy clicked in. St. Francis became an enlightened saint. Yeah, here's Venus too, you know, at the end of Sunday. So this is a good time for religion and sensitivity and things of that nature. Continues through Monday, at least through Monday morning. Here's Pluto right here, Monday afternoon. So the whole thing gets very intense, you know, when the moon goes by Pluto. Don't panic. Don't panic. Oh, those poor Muslims. Who was it that decided on the 24th for that day? Call me up. Consult a good astrologer. Let's not do this next year. Here's a square to Uranus. Eek. Where's the homeless? We feel isolated. We feel alone Monday night late. Not a good time. Tuesday on the 20th. Here's a square to the sun. We're not getting anything done. We got interrupted Monday night. And on Tuesday, we're just locked up. The electronics are going bad. It's in the connections. Finally, Tuesday night about midnight, there's a sextile to Saturn. And we start getting organized. You know, the moon's in Aquarius. Gets better on Wednesday the 21st. Here's Mercury and Uranus. Here's a high mental thing about words and writing and communicating. It's a very neat thing. Wednesday night, the 21st. Moon in Aquarius continues through Thursday, and then Thursday night, here's a trine to the sun. So a very Aquarian period, huh? The moon goes into Pisces late Thursday night, and next thing you know, Friday morning, here's a square to Saturn. Ugh, no money, no time, feel depressed. You know, you're going into the Neptune zone. The moon goes by Neptune in about noontime on Friday, and it's no longer so tightly opposing Venus. Venus is here, see. Here's a confusion point, but you know who's there is Mars. And so tendency to be confused about physical energy and stuff. Oh, excuse me, there's Mars. What is this? Oh, this is just Neptune. Just confusion, you know, Friday. But by the time you get to Friday night again on the 23rd, here's the opposition to Jupiter and too much laughing, and the opposition to Venus. The girls are not happy. And the opposition to Mars about 2 a.m. in the morning. Everybody fighting and ticked off. So again, not a Friday night to turn your daughter loose. No, think about it twice, okay? Saturday the 24th, well, not too bad while the moon is still in Pisces till you get to Aries. Once it crosses over into Aries, things change a lot. Starting here, there's the South Node. That's Saturday night. We all feel like we need help. Eek. And then there's the eclipse, the 5-degree eclipse, late Saturday night, early Sunday, the 25th of October. And that feels kind of shaky, and emotions are kind of out of kilter a little bit, yeah? And finally, Sunday night, here's the square to Pluto. Eek, a bug. Pluto, eek, panicky. And that continues into the isolation. Here's your old Pluto-Uranus square happening Sunday night. Starts with the panic, goes through to isolation and separation. And here's Mercury. Uranus is interrupting your ability to get around, to communicate. So these weekends aren't real easy. Okay, I'm about to inundate you with lots and lots of data. This is Elima. Lima. She's our alpha cat. What this is about is the prediction of Neptune events. Now, I've been working on Uranus stuff for almost a decade. which is earthquakes and tornadoes. And Uranus stuff has to do with wind. It's a, Neptune stuff has to do with water. Uranus stuff comes along, wham, bam, thing, earthquake, sudden, Neptune sneaks up on you. But what I learned with Uranus stuff is sometimes the signals I get from lunations are oftentimes, especially in the big events, it seemed, could be 4 months and a few days early. So what I'm discovering here, I'm trying to figure out whether our Neptune event, and we're going to have one here in Hawaii, is just huge rainfall flooding event or tsunami, because those are, the guys say, run from water, hide from wind, huh? What do you say, Lima? Lima hides from wind, that's for sure. She's good at it. She's like a little barometer. If things are getting stormy, she goes and hides out in various places. Anyway, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these. These are the pertinent lunations that affect us in Neptune land. I want to know, I'm lining them all up. I'm going to look at them quick. I want to see kind of what their general flavor is. And we're going to start with the full moon July 1st. And there was Neptune at the bottom of the chart. Now this is your home. Notice that it's almost 2 degrees off the IC, the bottom of the chart. Okay, here's July, and we had a month of rain, huh? Here's July 15th, the new moon. Here's Neptune again, the very bottom of the chart. My toilet plugs up, the gutters are leaking, etc. Next thing I looked for was a full moon August 29th. Now this one had Uranus here, a hurricanes thing but it's only the only one during this whole period, and we had a whole bunch of them turn up on the TV screen and then fuzz out, and they weren't. Uranus was 20 or 10 degrees off opposing the rising sign and Mercury here. But you notice that these two here's middle of July, okay, middle of August, middle of September, middle of October, middle of November puts the last half of November is where I expect the biggest chance of a large event. Okay, so here's August 29th, and we had that one, it kind of goes through September, call it the TV, television hurricanes, because it's the only one. And then we get to September 20th, the 1/4 moon, and here's Neptune at the top. Public flooding, public brown water, eek, kind of stuff. September 20th. And here about the full moon coming up now is this eclipse red moon that's so important. And here we got Neptune on the rising. Here we are feeling watery ourselves, opposing Jupiter. This is thunder and lightning, and Jupiter oftentimes brings rain. Here they are opposed. This is interesting. Carries you from September 27th strongly till the next full moon on October, but they don't show, the next one that really shows trouble from Neptune is the new moon November 11th, and here it is again, Neptune at the bottom of the chart. Now it's not on the IC here. See, it's already gone past. And here it seems that Saturn, the message is we're going to all have to go slow, and we're feeling old, and we can't get around as well as we should. And here's Saturn, money loss maybe. But, okay, November 11th, that starts, here's November 18th, the 1/4 moon. This one has the south node at the very top of the chart. In public, it says, we need help. And that one bugs me a lot. I don't like that. And here's a full moon, November 25th. This one is a strong Neptune thing. Here's Neptune on the rising sign. It's 2 degrees off again. and it squares Mercury up here at the top of the chart and Saturn. Saturn's closing down communication, transportation. It takes you extra long time. Why is that? Because the road's washed out. See, this tells us some of the symptoms of what we're going to have. That's what I'm looking for. I want to know the difference between lots and lots and lots of rain and flooding and a tsunami. Now this kind of says to me, and that south node, that, we need help. Well, November 18th. Now that can go all the way through December and longer. Remember, there's a 4-month reach on these, but they come along and you get, 3-4 months of them, and then all the Neptune stuff fizzles out. So here November 25th, we're being Neptune. Eek! And we go to December 18th, here's Neptune at the bottom again. Here's confusion, water, stuff. Now I don't know what this is. If we were having an event the end of November, this goes into December 18th and says there's still trauma over water events at home. Next important one is December 25th. Now this one is clearly a wind thing. Here's earthquake, here's hurricane, a late hurricane, December 25th at Christmas. Eek! And here's Pluto at the very bottom. And see, the rising sign's 15, Uranus is 16, Pluto's at 15. This is tight. This is probably not, this is a wind event. Don't know if it's a hurricane or just a big windstorm, but the damage is from wind, and it makes you feel panicky and closed in at home. And so that changes the whole thing, see? And here I got problems in getting around Mercury. And here's Mars, January 1st, 3/4 moon. Here's a rebuilding and fixing the home and the house. See, this is downstream stuff. This is after the event. Okay, now, I don't expect you to understand this, but it's on YouTube and on the website, and you can slow it down if you want to study it. And this may be for those specialists that are going to take up this study after I'm no longer around. So here what I did is I set up about a 4.5 month window. That's what I discovered before. So we're starting in the middle of July and going through middle of December. And now I'm going to use the astrocartography tool, and I'm looking for something in particular. Let me show you. Here's the first one. Now, here we are in Hawaii, right here. And here's Neptune at the bottom of the chart. This is one of our troublesome charts. And sure enough, we had a lot of rain and flooding, and this is the start of our brown water, July, August. But okay, here it is. Now what I'm looking for is Uranus, because if you're going to have a tsunami, it's got to come from this area here in order to hit Hawaii. And this is where all the plates come together. We had a big one in Chile here already. And so here, whoop, there it is, Uranus on the IC. Here's shaking in the home, that dotted line, and it goes right up through the San Diego area and Baja and stuff. So, this is possible. If there was a shaking here, we could get a wave there. And here the first July 1st full moon kind of shouts it out. So here's the July 15th lunation, and again we have Neptune here at the bottom. It's flooding in Hawaii, insecurity. What is that? Anyway, and here's Uranus over here again, going through right up the northern, kind of the Gulf and Baja and the extreme Southern California area. Okay, let's check the next chart. August 29th, full moon. And dotted red. Oh, this is that 1 month window. We hurricane, possible volcano stuff comes up, and Uranus is there. They call this a TV hurricane period. So here's one. That might be an early one. This is the end of August. So this could be an early signal for the Christmas thing with Uranus and Pluto, see? Because here we got September, October, November. The end of December would be 4 months from August 29th, and this could be this could be the hurricane signal. Just blink one of them there, see? And we go to the next one, September 20th. This is the first quarter moon that was kind of sensitive because here's Neptune. It's on the midheaven, public flooding, okay? And so is there a Uranus component? Yes, here it is again, right there. Here's Uranus going through that same area, right up through this Southern California tip of the Gulf of, what is that, Mexico, or Gulf of Baja. Anyway, here's Uranus again. You had an earthquake here, we get a tsunami in Hawaii. You get the idea? So I'm finding the, yeah, September 20. Here's a full moon, September 27th. And this one has lots of stuff. Here's Neptune rising, Jupiter opposing, thunderstorm. Really a lot of action around Hawaii. I showed you that. And here's, now this case, Uranus line goes up through this area of Alaska, which they do have earthquakes. And here's Pluto in the midheaven, a crisis up above. You know, here's the Washington, Oregon. Here's Cascadia Fault. See, so this could be Cascadia Fault stuff off the coast, and again affecting us with the effect would be the tsunami. Here's a November 11th, the new moon. This one has Saturn on the rising sign. We feel restricted. Here's Neptune on the IC. Here's flooding, runs right up through Kauai, but this is wide. And so I'm asking myself, where's Uranus? Here's the Uranus line right here. And it runs up through the Bay Area here. And so here's another, we get general earthquake here, bang, we get tsunami here. So I'm not liking this. No, it's kind of looking, here's the November 18th first quarter moon, and here's that south node on the top saying we need help. In this case, the Uranus line is up here, almost Alaska area, see? There's a quake, but it's still, anything happens there, it's aimed right at Hilo, and so there's this component of Uranus that's there again too, huh? And here's the full moon, November 25th. This one's kind of a doozer, and here's Neptune on the rising for us, and here's Uranus shaking everybody. And again, it's along this Cascadia fault area here. And there's Pluto on the midheaven, is volcanic and panicky stuff. And you know, it's all along this area. And if they have trouble here, we could have trouble there. So, December 18th, you know, I'm hoping it'll calm down. But here's Neptune on the IC. We could have this flooding or this event of a tsunami clear into the middle of December. And if so, then, no, I'm not sure. Here's your Uranus, this dotted line, runs up through here, through LA and through, you know, halfway between the Bay Area. Anyway, here's the shaking, see? And bang, here we could get a problem with flooding and tsunami. Maybe this is a second event, and maybe this is when the thing is going to happen past the middle of December. If we go to December 25th, I got that really nasty full moon that says we feel like we're displaced people. Here's Uranus, eek, a hurricane, eek, an earthquake, eek, and here's Pluto, panic in the home front. So, we're still having some crisis stuff there. Now I'm figuring that's another event. I'm figuring that's some hurricane showed up here for a while and bugged us. And here's this one, Mars on the IC goes right through the islands. And that's like rebuilding, huh? That's a symptom of after the thing. That's January 1st. Okay. Wow. So you can see how I'm having trouble with this. I got 3 worksheets. This is the one I just went through for you. Information off the other 2. There's some interest here in other places. Okay, this is the first worksheet. Here's number 2 worksheet. And what I did is I started looking around for places these lunations also hit. And one of the things that came up constantly, well, here's China, and it's Hong Kong. That came up here too. And then Nova Scotia, the west coast of Australia, and of course Hawaii. All places where these things might. Here's another Hong Kong note. West Australia, another note. Here. Not easy to read my notes, is it? This interesting note. Can't confine liquids. Dams break and stuff like this. This is Saturn squaring Neptune. And eventually, over the next couple of years, you're going to get water rationing. Saturn squaring Neptune. Limitations on your water. Sorry, California. I love the cards you folks send me. This one's from Anne. Thank you, Anne. And a big mahalo for all of you folks for watching the show. And to the Hawaiians up on Mauna Kea, stop that telescope. Mahalo. Astronomers have historically been the enemy of astrologers. Newton stood up and chastised the discoverer of the comet Halley, who made a disparaging remark about astrology. Newton said, "Sir, I have studied it. You have not." I have studied it. You have not. Newton studied astrology.